as far as what to expect at home, I just hope we're competitive, man. I hope our defense can shore things up. Getting Manu Garcia back in the squad is not a bad thing at all. Um, Hopefully more Eric Tommy. So we'll see what happens. What is happening, everybody? Welcome back to No Other Pod on KC Sports Network. This is not Jimmy. This is Daniel Kooser, and I'm here with our normal producer, Nick Springer. Nick, what's up, dude?
Dude, yeah. First of all, I am not Jimmy, so I'll try my best to I don't know, fill in Jimmy's shoes. But I was thinking before we started the show, like it's kind of fun being the like the mysterious producer who nobody actually knows or like has seen him or like knows anything about him. But now
Yeah,
I've lost that mystique because here I am
I know.
on the show
Now your
filling in for
face is
Jimmy
there.
who filling in for Jimmy who I believe he's still in France, right? He's not back yet. So
Yeah, dude,
he's
world traveler.
yeah, so he's living his life, and meanwhile, we're back here holding it down, I guess, while he's gone.
You're not. The curtain has been lifted. All right,
I
the
know.
the wiz,
Yeah,
the wizard is revealed.
yeah. I feel naked a little bit.
I know, dude. Who's gonna Google stats real quick when we don't have time to Google something? We're in trouble. Well, we're happy to have you here. As Jimmy is celebrating love, and as his brother got married in France. And boy, I follow his brother online, and I will tell you, it is gorgeous. Like they look, it looks like an episode of Downton Abbey.
Man,
It's just there's like a castle, and they were part of a like a horse-drawn carriage situation,
holy,
and I think it was a Jewish wedding. I thought I saw yarmulke. I thought I saw them being lifted on a chair. I was like, what a wonderful time this looks like. A lot of happy faces.
well, I don't think I think maybe I told you this before, but I don't even have a passport. I've never been out of the United States. Like
Yeah.
I've never been anywhere, and so I'm always fascinated by people talking about going abroad or hearing what people's experiences were abroad. And obviously someday in the future I intend to travel outside of the United States. It just so happens that I just never really have. And I mean, most people maybe will go with like their families, like Jimmy, for example, going for his
Yeah.
brother. But my family that has never done any of that stuff. I mean, like my parents have gone on like cruises and stuff, but I was never interested in doing that. So
Mm.
I don't know. Someday I would like to travel, but I guess for now I'm just stuck here in Kansas.
You should just get a passport and have it. I think they're good for like 10
Yeah,
years,
dude,
you know?
you sound exactly like my mom. My
Uh,
mom for like the past like 2 years has been like, just get one, and then you'll have it. I'm like, okay, I will. Like, damn, I haven't yet though, but I will eventually, maybe.
it's kind of cool, man. I realized I had to like have a passport when I applied to go on the Traders. You heard of the Traders TV show?
I honestly, I'm not familiar with that one.
See, they film in Scotland, and I was like, oh hell yeah,
Oh,
I'd like to go on that show. How cool! They like will stay in a castle while they play this game. It'd be a blast, dude.
that actually does sound really awesome. Did you get any updates on the Wheel of Fortune uh, application?
No, nothing yet. Just had
Yeah.
had my basic interview. Tried to smile the most I could, to be like, why wouldn't you want to put this on your television screens? So we'll, could be in months. Who knows? We'll see.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and it's so interesting because a lot of times with those types of things, you film it and then you can't say anything or talk about it because they don't air for however long in advance. So
Right. Knowing me, dude, if I was ever on a game show, it might not get aired because I'd probably say some stupid shit. I'd probably curse or something, and they'd be like, whoa, whoa, you can't do that. And I'd be like, how do you express frustration when you get the puzzle wrong?
you just say, gosh dang it, darn it.
That's rough. I don't even, I'd probably do some, hit myself in the head or some shit. They're like, whoa, this guy punishes himself with face punches.
Not good.
Not great. Almost not as great as Sporting Kansas City, my man.
Yeah.
This podcast is not getting very it's not very positive to talk about it. We don't get to talk about victories or playoffs, and the only good news to come out of this is that they are not mathematically eliminated from playoff contention.
Yeah,
That's
which is
wild.
honestly pretty crazy. Like you would think, considering how things have been going for the past basically entire season at this point, that that would be a reality. But I guess if you're delusional enough, Dan, if you're delusional enough, maybe you can talk yourself into it.
Could you imagine though if like all the results go our way and we just like win out and we make the playoffs? I mean, it would be crazy. It'd be quite the Cinderella story. But for reference, there are 4 teams in the 6 of the Eastern Conference that are below the playoff line. 4 are eliminated out of those 6. You go to Western Conference, all 6 teams below the playoff line can still mathematically make the playoffs. No one's eliminated yet. Not even the LA Galaxy, who are down there sniffing the mud.
Yeah, somehow we'll have less points than Sporting, and they're not even eliminated either.
I know. To think that that's still a possibility is crazy. Uh, a lot of games. I mean, dude, there's only like I think there's 4 games left in this season. That's a possible 12 points that would put us up in 39, which is where Colorado is right now in 8th place on 39. So like, we're gonna get eliminated soon. It's just a matter of time. It's not if, it's when.
Yeah, which like what was Chip's magic point number? Was it 44 that he always said was to get to the playoffs, basically?
I think it was 44. That sounds about right. It was. There's no way we can get that. It's just been a sad, weird year, man. And all you can do, like, they're even in like the post game interviews, they're asking Carey, like, what do you hope to gain from the rest of these games since, like, essentially they don't matter, And he says the coach line where he's like, just playing it day by day, taking one step at a time, worried about what's right in front of us instead of what's on the horizon, which I think sucks. We do want to hear like what the plans are.
Yeah. Well, I mean, in a weird way, I don't think this is like a positive, I guess, but if you're looking forward to like what's going to happen next, Sporting is on the verge, and I think Jimmy's talked about this, but Sporting is on the verge of potentially a complete makeover, basically, right? Like,
Oh yeah.
and even more so now because, I think earlier in the season you could have talked yourself into, well, okay, maybe Kerry Zavagnin stays the coach. But at this point, that's probably not going to happen. I was going to see what your opinion was on that. Like, you're probably going to have a coaching search. Like, I guess I shouldn't say that Kerry Zavagnin couldn't ultimately become the coach, but you're definitely, I think, at this point, going to have a wide net of options, right? And you still have the sporting director situation where you bring in somebody there and maybe that alters things. So like, yes, the season's coming to a close and obviously it hasn't been very good for Sporting most of the year, but there are some, I guess, exciting possibilities of new coach, new sporting director, lots of players that they'll have to make decisions on. So it's like, the season has not been good, but you look at it from the standpoint of, okay, that means that this upcoming offseason is going to be critical in terms of making sure that in 2026 you are in a better position to start the year.
Oh, 100%. And now, don't get me wrong. I think Kerry Zavagnin is a wonderful man and a great human being. And I enjoyed having him on this show and talking to him.
Yeah.
Like, it was just one of the better interviews we've had, in my opinion. And, but being a nice human being doesn't win soccer matches. And that's ultimately what it comes down to. And I just think, like, it also goes back to what Peter Vermees said on an interview on some other show. I can't remember, a few weeks back. And he was just like, he kind of threw shots at the ownership in the sense of like his hands were tied and he wasn't allowed to spend, the wallet wasn't open. And it's like, so even a coaching change isn't going to change this team. It's still going to have, we're still going to have a tight wallet, tight purse strings.
Yeah. Well, I guess that's where you hope that the opportunity to bring in a sporting director maybe loosens that up a little bit, and the chance of, opening up the checkbook a little bit more becomes a little bit more of a reality. Because, I mean, you look around the league, Dan, it kind of feels like that's the way things are going, right? Like if you want to be really competitive, you're going to have to spend it a little bit more. I mean, that's just the reality of modern sports, I think, across the board.
100%. I mean, you got goal scorers on damn near every MLS team, man, and like we've got Joveljic, but we got nothing really around him to help him out with these games, and we're losing to teams maybe we wouldn't normally lose to back in our prime. But it's you look at teams scoring like 5 goals a game, and you're like, man, we get one and we get excited about it. It's been a long time since we've had a big time goal performance, and I hope that's in the near future.
Yeah, well, I mean, and again, you can look at this a number of different ways, but you mentioned Jovic. I mean, he's what in the top 5, I think, in goals in the league, right?
Oh
And
yeah.
so if you look at that and say, okay, well, if you're able to just get a little bit of support, right? Like you're not asking for the cavalry to come in. Like he's been extremely productive. So if he's the centerpiece of your offense, you're not asking for, the greatest cast of players around him. You just need guys that can create opportunities and help support him as best they can. You don't need 4 or 5 other guys that are elite goal scorers. You just need guys that can go out there and free up opportunities and hopefully make some plays, I guess.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's a real possibility that like Jovic could win the Golden Boot. I mean, I don't think it's going to happen. He is in 5th place with 17. He's 4 goals off of first place, which has 21 with Sam Surridge, and I just you'd have to count on no one else scoring, none of those guys scoring goals. And when Leo Messi's one of them, I think I'd put my money on Leo Messi scoring at least 1 goal within that time frame. So
I'm not familiar with this Leo Messi character. I don't.
yeah, no, he's ass. No, honestly, man, I wish we had someone like that, dude. I wish we had someone that's gonna like, an international product that has been just killing it for like Man City or Liverpool or somebody, and they come in and just put eyes on Kansas City. Because it's been a long time since eyes have been on Kansas City. I mean, we had Dom Dwyer for a bit who was just going on a tear, and he was like, breaking club records and stuff like that. Um, but since then, when did we have a last good prolific goal scorer until right now with Dejan Jovic?
Yeah. Well, and I also think that, I mean, and you would maybe know a little bit more about this, but when you think about like what Peter Vermees was building, it was very much like not let's have just one superstar guy. It was, hey, let's have a team of guys, right? Like a team of players. So that kind of sets you up to where, like you said, you're not going to have maybe like a real true superstar player that's going to put the spotlight on your team. But obviously that system kind of decayed over time. And that's ultimately why they made the switch, with Peter leaving. But, maybe that is a strategy that they look to now and say, okay, well, are we going to be too impatient to try to, do sort of a slower rebuild, or can we splash the cash to maybe get some players to re-energize the club right away?
Well, and let's just think about this. In an alternate dimension, there's a world where we had Cristiano Ronaldo on the team, which
I didn't want to go there, but yeah, you
yeah,
went there.
I'm not certain that was actually going to happen, but could you imagine? It's fun to think about.
Yeah, yeah.
Hey, let's take our first break real quick and come back and break down this game. But first, of course, we got to call all Chiefs fans. All right, you could be on the field at the 50 inside GEHA Field for the official coin toss at a Chiefs home game this season. Look at our graphic. Look at that YouTube graphic. Be on the field as a coin toss captain. Visit Chiefs.com/GEHA now. You can enter to win a chance to be on the field for a once-in-a-lifetime view of the pregame coin toss. Plus, you can score other exclusive prizes. Enter for a chance to win at Chiefs.com/GEHA. GEHA is the proud partner of the Kansas City Chiefs.
What's up, guys? I'm BJ Kissel, founder and CEO of KC Sports Network, and I'm here to talk to Kansas City businesses. If you rely on technology, you need an IT support team that's not just another vendor, but a true IT partner. That's why I want to introduce you to my friend and neighbor, KJ Miller. He is a VCIO at ThrottleNet, the Midwest's highest rated and most reviewed IT support company. They've been in business for more than 25 years, helping companies stay secure, productive, and ahead of the curve. They aren't just IT support, but they provide data security, IT strategy, and cloud software services. They do it all, and their reviews show they do it better than anyone else. So if you want to hear about how ThrottleNet can help your local business, join the conversation with myself, KJ Miller from ThrottleNet, and our resident genius from KC Sports Network when it comes to IT, at least as he's affectionately known by us, Mr. Craig Stout. Click the link in the description to hear how ThrottleNet can help you.
Dude, so I got to tell you about this. I over the weekend before the KC Current game had had some pizza with Chip and his lovely fiance Megan, and we went to an escape room, and it was this new one at Breakout KC where you break in to a bank. And dude,
wow.
it's the hardest room, they've said. Like difficulty 10 out of 10. I'm like, ooh, I don't fail escape rooms. I don't do it. I always get out. Bro, we got out with like 40 seconds to spare.
Wow.
Like it was crazy. I can't tell you enough how fun it was. You ever do escape rooms? You ever get in on that?
I haven't done one, but they do sound fun. I mean, let me ask you this: have you ever failed before? Ever?
One time, and I it was with Chris and his girlfriend, and so I'm like, well, so maybe Chris was the problem. No, but there's part of me that's like, I've never failed with anyone else. But it's my wife and I like to do them when we travel too. We'll go on vacation, try to find a really immersive one. Like we had one where we had like tactical gear on, and like one that was like a zombie theme. And
wow.
I tell you what, if you'll find out if you're a strong partnership, if you go do that with your husband or wife, you'll find out real fast if you work well together.
I think you recommended that I should go to an escape room on a first date if I ever do one, and I was like, that seems like a horrible idea. Like you're put in like a sort of a high stress situation with somebody that you're trying to like make a good first impression with, and it's like, you're an idiot, do this. No, we need to do that. Like, what I mean, it just seems like a
good plan
for disaster.
Well, yeah, I mean, don't be an asshole and escape.
Well, you're gonna fail.
Your feet.
We're gonna fail. Then yeah, I'm gonna start.
See, my wife hates when I do secret tasks in escape rooms. Like other people will be working together on something. I know that we all don't need to be working together on something. There's other shit to be done. So I'm doing that other shit. And I'm over here and I've typed in like 3 different codes to locks. I'm like solving puzzles. And out of nowhere, Chip's like, Dan's just over here winning the game. I was like, hey, y'all keep doing what you're doing. I'm clearly on to something here. And Marissa goes, yeah, that's his secret task stuff. He does that all the time.
Well, and I mean, I gotta be honest. In those types of situations, I mean, you can absolutely have a too many cooks in the kitchen scenario where it's like,
that's what it feels like.
All right, we need people to shut up and not do something else. And
yeah,
these people need to focus on one task.
Now, what Marissa will ask me, she will say, oh, how'd you figure that out? And I'm like, there's no time to explain to you how I figured it out. I'll tell you afterwards. Like, don't let me show you the 3 different items I had to grab to get this puzzle,
Yeah.
Precious time.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I like doing puzzles, and it's something I'd want to give it a try sometime, but I've never actually done one. So I don't know. I have to
probably dig it, man.
Yeah.
There's Breakout Lawrence. I know they have a place. I think they have a couple rooms we have not done yet. So that's definitely on our list. We'll give you a call. Could be fun.
Cool. Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Sporting Kansas City lost 2-1 over the weekend. A little overlap with the KC Current game. So naturally I had it on my phone as I tried to escape the hellscape that's the KC Current parking lot. I can't even tell you enough how bad their parking is, but we can get on that in the KC Current podcast tomorrow. It fucking sucks. But 2-1, and this was against RSL, man. You have Johnny Russell on the other team. You had William Agata on the other team. William Agata did come in. Johnny Russell was an unused sub, so we did not see Johnny. That was kind of my exciting points about this game. I was like, I'd like to see Johnny Russell play again. We did not score a goal, if I'm being honest. It was an own goal. We did not score this thing. We cannot take credit. But I'm just sensing a lot of frustration in this team, man. Just trying to get forward and then not really having that final piece. Daniel Shallowy will be streaking on the left side, and then just nothing really comes of it.
Well, and we talked earlier in the show about the offense and Joveljic, but in this match, it seemed like the defense was the issue. I mean, RSL had possession, I think, for what felt like a majority of certainly the first half. And I mean, it didn't even really feel like Sporting joined the game until almost the 60th minute. So it was the defense that I think was struggling. And, you and Jimmy are both really high on John Pulskamp, and he had another really solid game, I think, right? I mean, did all he could, but there's definitely, I think, a lot of issues with the defense. And that's where I feel like it gets to the conversation of like, which direction are you trying to go moving forward in the offseason, because unfortunately, I don't think it's just, hey, here's the one issue we need to fix. It's pretty clear that there's multiple pretty significant issues. But that being said, if you have a goalkeeper like John Pulskamp, and you feel like he's, Jimmy has said that he feels like he's sort of the guy for the future for Sporting Kansas City, that's at least one thing you can check off and say, okay, let's not worry about that in the offseason.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, unless someone wants to pay us a lot of money for him, then we'll take that money and put it towards someone else. But did you see Jimmy's doppelganger was the referee for this game? If everyone's
you did see that, yeah.
If everyone's paying attention, you could Google right now, referee Drew Fisher, and there are some images, which is like, oh shit, that's like Jimmy's uncle over here.
Yeah, it's kind of scary. Are you a believer that everybody has a doppelganger? Do you think that's real?
Is that people say that? People say everyone's got?
Yeah, I think people say it. Like, hey, everyone has at least one somewhere, right?
Well, you definitely have someone that looks close to you, right? I mean, it makes sense. I never met someone and been like, whoa, you look just like me. Have you
ever seen anybody that you feel like just like looks just like you?
Shoot, I don't know. Do you get any you get anyone say what, like, you look like an actor or anything? A lot of times people say, oh, you remind me of this actor.
No, but what I was going to say was, I've seen my doppelganger. I've seen a guy that looks exactly like me. What? And funnily enough, it was a Chiefs-Browns game in 2019. And there was a guy they cut to in the crowd. I have a picture of it. There was a guy they cut to in the crowd during the broadcast. And I swear to God, it was me. I was like, what? This is me at the Chiefs-Browns game. But it wasn't me.
What?
It was insane. It was crazy.
Someone's living your life.
It literally looked exactly like me.
That's wild. And you showed people and they agreed?
Yeah. No, actually, somebody sent me one of my friends was screenshotted the picture of the guy on the TV broadcast and sent it to me. I didn't see it live. Somebody sent it to me and they were like, "Are you at the Chiefs game?" And I was like, "No, I'm not." But that looked, I understand why you would ask me that question, because that looks exactly like me.
That's insane.
Yeah, it was wild. I'll show you the picture when we're done recording. But yeah, it was great.
When I was way thinner, like 30 or 40 pounds thinner, I would get Ryan Reynolds comparisons, especially when I was clean shaven, and I was like, okay, love that. Big fan of that.
Yeah.
But other than that, no, I don't get nothing. But yeah, sure, there's definitely someone out there that
there's
looks
definitely, there's definitely I don't know, somebody, and it could be somebody living in Australia that looks like you, that you may
not?
That you may never meet or see, but there's somebody out there, I'm sure.
I'm about to just start looking online for people.
I mean, I could already picture an Australian dude when you had your long hair. I could picture an Australian surfer dude that looks exactly like you. It's easy to see.
I think I want to bring the long hair back. I'm considering it. Just takes forever. Hey, here's what I was thinking. I was going to read Chip's little write-up, and he'll give us some stats to kind of break into. Do we have a little segment music for the
you want some music?
Chip shot?
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, we got it.
It's me that does that, so you're right.
Yeah,
I don't remember which ones I've used already. I don't even know what this one is.
Oh, there it is. Yeah. Feel it. Sporting's on a skid. What? Sporting's not good. Yeah. We got the Chip shot coming with the stats. What's the haps? Jimmy's up in France. Oh. All right. Chip says the skid continues for SKC, and while we aren't mathematically eliminated yet, the trajectory isn't promising. It's another loss for us, but let's discuss. For a team that feels like they're trying to reinvent themselves, our attack hasn't shown much of anything promising as of late. Most of everything is individual effort. A quick move by Munoz, a slick attempt by Jovalic, but no string of passes together which gets someone open. And for a team in the twilight of the season and only 4 games to go, we aren't ending up in a very different place from where we were last year, except a total of 4 points lower after 30 matches played. One thing I will say for the offense is that we're now utilizing Jovalic more and him getting more and more touches and being involved in the attack. One thing I am not a fan of is us bringing Munoz in for only the last 5 minutes. He has more of a spark than most players we've signed in the past, so bringing him in that late doesn't do much for us. As we move into the final stages of the season and with a potential new person at the helm, it makes me wonder how much we'll develop the team if we're going to run into the offseason very soon. SKC has fallen into a situation where they don't have much attack that happens in the first half. It's happened in a few games recently, and this game was no different. All of 2 shots in the first 45 minutes, one from Shallowy and one from Ndembe. It comes back to the argument of Sporting letting the first half go and get some goals scored on them. Then we try to bring subs in at the 60th minute and chase that lead. Right at that 60th minute is when Carey has been putting in subs, which I think is good. I know I have my criticisms of PV and not using subs in the match. Sporting finished the game with 12 shots, 3 on target, but nothing on the board from Shoppy, who is now gone since June 14th, since his last goal. Personally, I really liked Shoppy when he started, as he had some quickness to him that reminded me of Johnny Russell, but I think that lately the performance hasn't matched. But we find ourselves in another position where the defense needs to come up bigger. Both goals they got on us were a direct result of Kyrie Shelton not having his man marked and the back post being open for the taking. I know that our defense has been something we're trying to shore up, but these back post runs will be the death of us. Next up, we're at home against Vancouver, who is currently 3rd in the West and 6th overall and just handed Philadelphia a 7-0 pounding. Vancouver is sitting at 2.0 points per game in their last 5 compared to SKC's 0.6, which is tied for last in the league. At home this season, SKC is 4-4-7 compared to Vancouver's 6-4-4 away record. I'm hoping we can try out something new, but who knows what things will look like as we host Thomas Muller at CMP. Bro, Thomas Muller is one of my favorites. Very excited to go. I got to tell you, it's us being in a non-playoff position. I'm tempted to wear my Thomas Muller Bayern Munich jersey. I just can't bring myself to do that, being a Sporting fan, you know?
Yeah. And honestly,
sorry, do you ever go to like Royals games? When the Royals were bad, do you ever go to the Royals to like see a better team coming to play? Like, oh, Red Sox are in town. I wear a Red Sox cap.
Yeah. So with the Royals, a lot of times what I've done is like, because in Major League Baseball, like when they would play a National League team, I would be like, oh, I want to go because I'm probably won't have it. Like they played the Padres, I think like last year or 2 years ago at Kauffman, and it was like, boy, I'm never going to go to a Padres game probably. So like, that's cool. I get to see a Padres, versus like, oh, I'm going to go watch them play the Guardians or the Twins, who they play,
all the
20 times a season. So that was kind of always my mentality is like I went to this year I watched them play the Dodgers because I mean, it's the Dodgers, number one, but also again, another National League team that you're probably not going to watch, or I'm probably not going to go to a Dodgers game in the near future. So I don't know. That's kind of how I always did it.
And let me be clear, I don't think I would ever wear my Bayern Munich jersey to a game. I'm not that guy. I'm not someone who, Miami just signed Messi, so like start wearing your Barcelona jerseys and PSG, right? Was he on PSG?
Yeah, he was, I think.
Thanks. Okay. And I would never do that. But it will be cool to see him. I was able to see him play when Bayern Munich came and played. I want to say they played Milan, maybe at Children's Mercy Park. So we were front row for that shit, man. What a time!
Yeah, well, and that gets me thinking about. You start thinking about the World Cup too, which is next year, and it would be nice for Sporting to be not ass when like the World Cup comes around, because you're going to have a bunch of soccer fans, right? Like, I don't know, something else to consider, I guess.
For sure. I mean, you'd like to put on a good product next year, really spend some money and be in a good position by the time that World Cup break rolls around, and you'll have people invested, man. Did you put in for the lottery for World Cup tickets?
I didn't.
Okay.
I would like to go to a game because it's like one of those things where it's like when you have a chance, but like, I got to be honest, Stan. I'm not the richest guy in the world, so.
Oh, I hear you there, man. It's when people are like, "Well, what you don't have money? You have nice things." It's like, yeah, that's why I don't have money. That's why I bought nice things. But no, I they say tickets could range from like $60 to a couple few thousand or something. So
yeah,
we'll see what happens. If we even get drawn into the lottery, maybe I can buy a few up for people and we can go at an affordable price. I don't know.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I was thinking, would you rather have like the US be at Kansas City, or would you rather have like a better World Cup team, I guess? Because like the US would be cool, but like they suck. So, I don't know.
Yeah. Obviously, it's your hometown team. It's probably bound to be a great environment. I mean, the chants and everything, I'm sure it would be really loud and cool. But due to the current state of the U.S. men's national team, I would not say I'm super thrilled to see them live. I mean, it's god dang, didn't they just that's pretty topical, right? Didn't last week they just freaking played last Tuesday they played Japan?
Yeah, didn't they
And,
lose before that?
yep, and then 3 days prior to that they lost to South Korea. Yeah. So good times. You know, they got some other big games coming up in the future that are on the schedule: Ecuador, Australia, Paraguay, Uruguay. But yeah, things just aren't good over on that front. So I don't know, man. I think I'd rather see. I do think I'd rather see an international team that I follow. Like I get pretty big into that 23andMe stuff. You tell me I'm part Russian, maybe I like some Russian soccer. No, Yugoslavia, they got a team. No, but for real, like it'd be great.
My sister did a 23andMe for my family once, and we're like 98.9% white. So
Yep,
I don't really have much else going on, to be honest.
Go England and Ireland and Scotland and all those white nations. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I tell you, my wife said it was like she was like 1%. Oh my God. It was some African team. I want to say Cameroon maybe. And I was like, ooh, we're fans of Cameroon, baby.
Yeah. Also, as part of it, it said that genetically I was not disposed to be athletic, which I must say is true. I'm not.
I told you that?
So,
rude.
Yeah, it was like based on like your genes, like you're predisposed to like these different traits, and it was like not athletic.
What? So. Okay. See, I didn't. I said 23andMe because that's the hype one, but I did Ancestry DNA.
Yeah.
Similar thing. That's just
and I don't. I mean, my sister did it. I don't know if like you can pay for like more data. You know what I mean? Like you can pay to see more stuff. I don't know. She was the one that did it, so she just told me.
Wow. Your DNA test tells me you're a sluggish piece of shit that will never amount to anything. Like what? This is rude, bro. I didn't pay for this. God.
Yeah.
What's good, everyone? It is KCSN betting analyst Benny Heiss. You know, something hit me as I was driving to the Missouri side, ironically, for something not available on the Kansas side. I cross over. I just can't get over how long sports fans in the state of Missouri have been waiting. It feels like forever. Good news is you don't have to wait much longer because DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook app, is finally coming to the Show Me State. And if you're thinking, yeah, but I got to wait on the sidelines until December 1st, it's not true. You can sign up right now. And when we go live, new Missouri customers get $300 in bonus bets just for placing a $5 bet. $5. That's not even as much as a pumpkin spice latte that's going to take over. So it's not some ragtag sports, but this is DraftKings. You got live in-game betting. So if your team starts hot, you could jump in mid-play. There's lightning fast payouts. None of that wait 3 days for your money nonsense. And you've got more ways to get in on the action. There's no better way to start. It's all from your phone. When we go live, you'll be betting with a sportsbook trusted by millions, safe, secure, fast withdrawals, everything you want. Well, except maybe a guarantee that your team will cover the spread, but that part's still on you. So here's the move. You download the DraftKings Sportsbook app, use code KCSN, and when we go live December 1st, that $5 bet turns into $300 in bonus bets. That is code KCSN in partnership with DraftKings Sportsbook. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus and physically present in Missouri. Eligibility restrictions apply. Bonus bets expire 7 days after they are issued. Excludes customers who redeem pre-launch sign-up offer. Terms at sportsbook.draftkings.com/promos.
Success in real estate takes more than vision. It takes the right financial partner. When someone takes something rundown and turns it into something great, that's called a comeback story, like Brain Group. They take distressed properties here in KC, completely rework them, and then turn them into valuable real estate. But that kind of work needs the right bank behind it. Enter Emprise Bank. They're not about cookie-cutter loans. They saw Brain Group's vision, backed them, and now they're making big moves in Kansas City real estate. Talk about your partner in possible. Emprise doesn't do one-size-fits-all financing. They invest in potential and back growth. Visit emprisebank.com/KC to learn more. Emprise Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Dude, what is there even see? We're just riffing now. Like, what is there even to take away from this freaking game, man? Like they scored on us, right? I just had the goals.
Yeah.
What the hell are? Yeah, 9th minute, and then again in the 40th minute. So I mean, right there, you're going in 2-0 at halftime, man. That's not fun.
Yeah, well, like I said, I mean, I agree a lot with with a lot of what Chip's analysis was, which was
Wait, sorry,
yeah,
they didn't score in the 9th and the 40th. Why did it
no,
say that?
they scored in the 39th, and then they scored in the start second half.
Yes, Diego. It says 9 next to Diego Luna, and that means he has 9 goals on the year. I
There you go.
misread this, so. But Diego Luna, dude, there's your U.S. national team connection right there.
Yeah,
Nice to have a scorer that's actually scoring for his domestic league.
yeah,
But it was 1-0 at the half, and then they scored again in the 62nd. And then that own goal happened in the 71st. Kind of gave us life, though. With about 20 minutes left in the game, I was like, okay, hey, that's a spark. That's something that we could get back in this game. And it just wasn't to be.
yeah. And honestly, it kind of seemed like that own goal did energize the team. Like they ended up with some chances down the stretch. I think there was like in the 80th minute they almost had a chance for a goal, and so yeah, they really got going. And I thought Chip's analysis was good. He mentioned, I think, Sporting had 2 shots in the first half, or like didn't have hardly, and then they finished the game with 12. So that tells you in the second half they picked it up a lot more, but it's just too little, too late, I guess. I mean, you're already down 2, and then you get back 1, but even then you're still scrambling while Sporting or while RSL is just going to pack it in, and that's it.
I will say it's the subs he brought on with Munoz in the 85th, Eric Tommy and Alan Montes in the 63rd, with Mason Toy and Manu Garcia coming back. Manu's been out for a minute, dude, and we have been a better team with Manu. It's been cool to have him. So to get him back on there, I was like, dude, this is energy for the last 15 minutes of the game here. Let's see what happens. You got super sub Mason Toy in there working with Joveljic. It just wasn't meant to be, man. Even Eric Tommy's a lightning bolt, dude. He's definitely a spark plug to put into your system.
Yeah, but even with the bad start, you're still talking about fighting for a draw at that point, basically, right?
Yeah.
Which,
Any other time, though, a road draw sounds great, but it's just that's not for us right now. I don't care. A draw is a loss, in my opinion, right now. That's just where we're at.
Yeah, I mean, a road draw in May is fine, but
sure,
not now.
You rack up those points, but we've fizzled so many opportunities, and and RSL fouled the ever living shit out of us, dude. They had 17 fouls to our 7. Like they were real physical. And their shots 20-13 they had in favor of them. So other than that, everything was somewhat even. I don't know, man. It's tough to dissect this game when it's just more of the same. 4th straight road loss. It conceded multiple goals in a 7th straight regular season game for the first time since 1999.
Yikes.
That's not a good stat. I mean, that's right up there with the Chiefs being 0-2 for the first time since 2014. I don't want that.
I don't think you want to know how old I was in 1999, Dan. I'll just leave it at that.
What, were you like negative something?
I was like 1.
Oh, were you born in 98?
I was born in 97, right at the end of 97.
Gotcha. Whoa, look at this. Let's talk. What do we talk about? What kind of things? Our connection has got to be so off as far as like pop cultural moments. Like, did they teach 9/11 when you were in school? Are you familiar with what that is?
Yeah, I know what 9/11 is. Yeah, I just have.
Well, some people did. Like,
I know. Well, 9/11. I don't have a memory of it. I guess if you're asking,
right?
That. Like, I mean, I assume I was like in daycare or something, because I was 3 years old or whatever. But so
what kind of toys and cartoons did you get down on?
Well, I loved Hot Wheels. I was big, and like when I was a kid, I loved NASCAR. I was a huge NASCAR fan. When I was a kid, I wanted to be a race car driver. When I was so that was one of my early boyhood dreams. So I was big into that. I went through a phase where I really loved Yu-Gi-Oh, but it didn't really last that long on it. Actually, you want to know a funny story about that? Is one of my friends, he had like he got like one of the Egyptian god cards or whatever. And then I found out that he actually faked it. It was a print off that he printed off from online. And so I took it from him and I ripped it up. And then like that ruined our friendship. And then after that, I was like, you know what? I don't even like you anymore. So.
Well, what about like, what were your like Saturday morning cartoons?
Well, Yu-Gi-Oh was a Saturday morning cartoon.
Was it? Okay.
Yeah, I was also a big. I kind of watched a lot of PBS when I was a kid too. So like, Arthur, Cyber Chase. Those were some PBS shows.
Arthur, huh? Cool.
Yeah, I did like Arthur.
Interesting.
And then, I mean, I was always big into sports. Obviously, I am now too. But
Yeah.
so I would take. My dad would get the Sunday morning paper, and back then you would get Sunday morning paper, and they would have all of the matchups for the day on the NFL like printed out, and I would basically take a Sharpie and like pick each game that I thought the team would win. So I used to do that. So
trying to be a better before it was even legal.
yeah, honestly, yeah, I would pick the games and like I did that a lot too. Like I had a basketball hoop. Like we had one outside, but then I also had one of those mini ones like on my door and stuff. And so I would basically like create my own like NCAA tournament in my head, and then I would like play it against myself. So I don't know, I did that too.
Amazing. So you probably don't know nothing about Rocco's Modern Life or Ren and Stimpy, huh?
I've heard of Ren and Stimpy. I Rocco's Modern Life. If I saw it, I might know what it is, but it doesn't sound familiar to me. No.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Fun stuff. That's that.
Yeah.
See, when people were like, "Yeah, I grew up with SpongeBob," I'm like, you're a lot younger than me.
Yeah. See, I actually didn't watch that much SpongeBob when I was a kid because my parents didn't have cable when I was a kid, so I didn't have Nickelodeon really.
Wow.
Yeah.
There was just no cable. Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
You just had to go make your own fun.
Yeah, I really did. But I'm appreciative of that because
Yeah.
I think it helped me versus watching a bunch of cartoons as my childhood.
So have you gone up to the Speedway yet and driven one of those race cars?
I have not. I'm
Okay.
very curious to do so. I got an ad for apparently you can drive like a supercar at a racetrack out in Missouri somewhere, like near Kansas City. I'm interested in that. I've been to several races at Kansas Speedway,
Right.
and I've thoroughly enjoyed every single one of those. So, no. When I was a kid, the two things I wanted to do the most was be a race car driver and play for the Kansas City Chiefs.
Oh, there you go.
Obviously, neither one of those things came true. So,
I'd say one is more achievable than the other.
yeah.
I'd say you could go drive a race car somewhere in some way, maybe Demolition Derby.
Yeah, I would say about like 7th grade, I had this existential realization of like, I'm not playing in the NFL. Like, in 7th grade, I was still like 5'7", 100 pounds, and I was like, okay, it's probably over for me. So,
see, I wanted to be a stunt man, bro. I wanted to be a stunt man.
I could see that. Yeah,
didn't happen. I was always jumping off stuff at recess. Miss my calling. Everyone's like, "This guy's crazy." I was like, "Yeah, I'm crazy. I'm crazy like a fish." Okay, this game's dusted. We have Vancouver on the weekend, bro, where they just put a whole touchdown and an extra point on Philadelphia, who's actually a really good team. Philadelphia is number 1 in the Eastern Conference, and they just lost 7-0. That's bonkers to me. So I'm just going to go on a limb and say we're probably going to get our asses whooped. Probably just going to say that.
Well, if you think about it, it could be a letdown game for Vancouver, right? They just beat the best team in the East by 7 goals, and they could be like, boy, these guys in Kansas City suck. We'll just come on in and get a win, and maybe they overlook the Sporting Club.
Well, and I'll tell you, Thomas Muller had 3 goals. Little hat trick for old Tommy. So I'm sure he's flying high. Feeling 2 were PKs though. So let's not get crazy about that.
Don't give him too much credit.
But yeah, hopefully maybe they're maxed out and we're looking to get a good little home victory here to give us some sort of false hope for playoff achievement in the future. But I'm not going to hold for it.
I think beyond that, I mean, we kind of touched on it, and really at this point it comes down to you're trying to determine who on this team you think is going to be a part of the club next season, right? So you're watching for younger guys that can make something happen where you can say, okay, that guy has a future in 2026 with Sporting, right? So it's tough because at this point, it kind of goes beyond a win, loss, draw, and goes more into what does the team look like just in terms of like energy, right? I mean, you mentioned it with the RSL game. I mean, it looked like they didn't even get off the bus until after halftime. So you want that to change. You want to show up and hopefully get off to a quicker start. And then, yeah, you're just looking at some of the younger guys or some of the guys that, are going to be in a position where they'll have contracts up where, okay, is that a player that we think we want back in 2026? Is that, and again, we talked about it earlier with Karius Vagnon. Like, while I don't think it's just a simple, hey, it's your job, and there's going to be a pretty significant coaching search, I would think. Like, I wouldn't rule out the possibility of Karius Vagnon still getting the job. It's just, so he still is coaching for that. And if it's a situation where Sporting goes a different direction, he obviously is probably then coaching for hopefully an opportunity with another club, So there's still, I think, a lot to keep an eye on in terms of for the future. But yeah, obviously with so few matches left in the season, it's tough to feel like a win moves the needle right now. But if it can kickstart something where you can finish the season on a high note and then, really figure out things in the off season and course correct for 2026, then maybe that's best case scenario.
Yeah, I mean, you're playing for jobs at this point, right? Like, you want to show that you belong here and that you deserve a spot on this team. And, that's a whole other episode too about breaking down contracts and seeing who's out at the end of this year. And it's more people than you think. It's quite a few. But yeah, things are taking shape. At this point, me personally, I'm not going to stop watching them. Like, it's still sports. I mean, I watched the Chiefs back when it was just so boring and we were so bad. And I would sometimes nap through the whole fourth quarter. You know what I mean? Like, because we weren't even in the games, and now it's exciting. So I'm loyal, if nothing else, and I will stick around and watch these things. So as far as what to expect at home, I just hope we're competitive, man. I hope our defense can shore things up. Getting Manu Garcia back in the squad is not a bad thing at all. Hopefully more Eric Tommy. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
What else we need to talk about, man? Around the league, we mentioned their 7-0 big old victory from Vancouver. I think you got Open Cup stuff coming back this week. Tuesday and Wednesday, you got Nashville and Philadelphia on Tuesday, and then Wednesday you have Minnesota and Austin. I think those are it's semifinals now, right? So then that'll say who goes to the finals.
Yeah. One other thing I did see is Charlotte. I think they've won 9 games in a row. Is that right? I think I saw that.
Oof. Is that right? I wouldn't. I believe that. That sounds right. Because they're a pretty decent team.
Yeah.
Up there making playoffs as well. So I'm getting a little FOMO seeing a lot of these teams being up there, and it's like, man, we used to be in the conversation. We used to have home playoff games, and it's just not to be anymore. I don't know how to get back to greatness, especially with new teams coming in all the time. It's just getting bigger.
Are you do you still think you'll watch a majority of the playoffs or try to watch some of it as it gets going?
I will not prioritize it, but if I'm just like have some free time or I'm sitting around doing nothing, like I will put it on. Absolutely. But like, is it going to take place over like a KU football game or a KC Current game? Definitely not. But I will pay attention. I'm sure we'll talk playoff podcast all the way through the postseason. So
yeah.
And those can be fun, man. Competition really heats up. People play a little more conservative sometimes, and sometimes you go for broke. So be fun to watch. Anything else we should address today? That seems good, right?
I was going to ask you the same thing. You got anything else?
No, it seems great. I could mention Sporting KC2 actually had a pretty exciting draw that went to a shootout that we won in penalties. A couple of dope goals from both sides of the team, and you know that if you win the shootout in that MLS Next Pro, you get an extra point. Did you know that?
Really?
Yeah.
For your main team?
Yeah. So each team gets 1 point and if they win the shoot, then it goes to a shootout, and whoever wins the shootout gets a total of 2 points that night.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying now. Yeah.
I kind of love it. I think it's meant to be a testing ground to potentially implement that into MLS, which would make people crazy. Like they would hate that. But I think it'd be so cool. I mean, why not do that? Be different than other leagues.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everyone wants to be on trend with Europe and stuff. It's like we don't need to do that.
Yeah. Well, I think the NHL does that now in the regular season, where same deal. It's like if it goes to overtime or it goes to like their shootout scenario where they do the 3-on-3, both teams will get a point, but then you still get an additional point if you win the overtime. I think the NHL does that. Yeah.
I think it makes it a little more exciting. I mean, because how many times you go home, you're just like, oh, 0-0 draw. It's like, no, then we actually sat there for some penalty kicks, and that was pretty cool.
Yeah. Well, and also, I mean, penalty kicks are important, but you don't see shootouts, obviously, until you get to the playoffs, right? So it could be an opportunity where strategy-wise, you would say, okay, if we have somebody on our team that's like strictly for penalties, but we know there's going to be more opportunities during the regular season, then all of a sudden, could shake up some things.
100%. I agree. I don't know. They've been doing that for a couple of years now, though, so I don't think MLS is going to do that anytime soon. Okay. Well, here's hoping to maybe get a victory at home, and we can welcome Jimmy back. Is Jimmy back next Monday?
I'm assuming he is.
I can't remember if he said he missed 2. It was Chris that's going to miss 2, right?
Well, yeah, I think he's, yeah. So, but he also suggested that he could still try to do the show from China. So I don't know.
I'm interested. We should reach out.
You'll have to, you'll have to tune in to Currently to find out if Chris is joining via China or not.
Yeah, see if you got the firewall broken down there in China. That's crazy. And here we are. Here we are in Lawrence and Topeka, Kansas, just being lonely.
Yeah, I'm assuming Jimmy will be back next week, but
probably with so many stories from Bonjour and Crumpets and Disneyland Paris. Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, true.
Anywho.
So
cool. Well, we will leave you with that. Nick, thanks for being here, man. That was fun. Very cool time.
It was a pleasure.
It was different. I was like, man, a new person to mesh with. I don't know. We could be awful. So let us know, people. Let us know if we were awful or good. nootherpod@gmail.com. 5-star ratings and reviews on Apple Pods and Spotify. You can catch us online at nootherpod, at Dan Kooser, at
Nick Springer 29.
Nick Springer 29. I thought it was 29. Almost said it. Would have had it. And then we'll just see you next week. Hopefully for a victory pod. It's been so long. I don't know what it feels like anymore. So tune in tomorrow for Currently. Maybe Chris will be here, maybe not. So we'll see you guys later. Peace.